Hi everyone, my name is Rebecca, also known as Reiki Reselling. I'm a part-time reseller over on Vinted and eBay. As you can see, I'm in my tat cave and I've got lots of orders to show you, so really happy about that. Everyone's obviously buying for Christmas, but let's be frank, let's talk about Vinted. Everyone's loving Vinted. I personally don't like it at the moment. I don't know if anyone else is the same. Business is booming on my eBay, and I found that I'm getting better prices for things on eBay than I am on Vinted. I don't know if that's because I am Vinted Pro and I am a business so on eBay, so I don't know what the deal is there. But has anyone else found that if you just go literally 1 week without listing anything on Vinted, your sales go way the plummet? I found that ever since I switched to Vinted Pro, and I found, do you know what it is? I did an experiment where I basically paid for the promotion, paid for the advertisement, the spotlight I think they call it, to promote your wardrobe. I did it before I moved over to Vinted Pro and it was £10. When I moved over to Vinted Pro it was £10. But I know other resellers feel the same way. I'm finding Vinted people just want something for nothing. I used to be able to get really good sales on Vinted. Like my old stock, I used to still shift for like £20-30 a pop, sometimes a bit less obviously, but now I'm finding people will offer you like £10 on an item that's 4 times that, 3 times that. Some people might sell it at that, but that's not me. That's not most of you. That's not what we're here for. We're here to get top whack for it, but also sell it on and as quickly as possible, or at least that's my ethos. And I had this guy message me, and there's a jacket that I've got listed there. Yes, granted, I've had it a little while now. I've had it about 4 or 5 months, and I've listed it on Vinted for $29.99. eBay, it's a £40 jacket, so I've listed it for $35.99 just to be competitive on both. I am also, just to point out, the cheapest on Vinted for that particular jacket. And anywho, like I say, I'll screenshot it there so you can see it. It's a Planks one. I've never heard of the brand. I think it's a ski company, but it's a very desirable company, especially this time of year. And basically the guy was like, "You've had it on stock for 6 months now. Why don't you get it gone? I'll give you £12 for it." And I'm like, "No, sorry. I've listed it for 25. Yeah, 25. I would like 20. So I counter offered at 20. And he went, "No, I've messaged loads of people with that offer, so I'm just going to wait and see. And the first one that takes it, I'll buy it from them." As if I'm like that desperate for a sale. Like the way it was worded, I'll show you it. But like the way it was worded, it was just weird. So I was like, "No, thank you. I hope you find the jacket that you want. Unfortunately, the lowest that I'll go is 20. Have a nice day." Perfectly polite, was not rude at all. Obviously, they do the passive aggressive thumbs up. And he was on his way. But I think it was him, because a person that had a very similarly named profile, shall we say, started messaging us again, trying to get it for £12. And I was like, "No, thank you. 20. Is Vinted just becoming like what Ricky Resale says, like an online car boot sale? Because if I'm wanting to get rid of my stock, I can literally get rid of it like that on Vinted at dirt cheap prices. So I will absolutely do that. I've been having clearance sales and stuff like that, and I will do that for a lot of the stuff, if it's out of season, etc. But for my good stuff that I know will sell, absolutely not. I was just saying if I could see me smoke with my breath. Yeah. Yeah, not a very good experience, is it really, as of late? I don't know if anyone else is finding the same. I'm sorry for ranting. I know it's a rant. I don't mean to rant. But I'm very passionate about it, and it's really irritating us at the moment. Yeah. But let's move on to the good stuff. Let's show you what has sold. 98% of it, not gonna lie, has been on eBay. Shock. So yes, first up we have the last of the stockings. I have a 10% coupon and not many people is using it. They're just buying it at full price, which is fine by me, but the coupon is there. It's valid till the end of December. It is there to try and boost my ratings because I'm a brand new business seller. So yeah, I'm moving everything from my personal one, Reiki Recycling, over to my proper business one, Reiki Reselling, so that I can do things properly. Yes, I'm still paying on tax, everything that sells regardless, but I just want to have a business account. I want to do things properly, especially now that I know it's something that I'm going to be doing for a little while. So yeah, $9.99 for that. Could have got the 10% off, but didn't. The person that did was who bought this. It's a Percy Pig. I've got the hiccups, excuse me. Percy Pig, super large, from 2021. People collect them. I didn't realise there was such a market for it. This owes me absolutely nothing though, because I got it in a free toy bundle a little while ago. Sold it quickly for $6.99, but that was with the 10% off. They go for about a tenner, so it's not really much less, to be fair. What is less is I've had this for absolutely ages. I paid £1 for it, could not sell it. It's a little mistress dress with the tags. This used to be such a popular brand. I don't know why it's not now, because it used to be super expensive. But I think they've gone into liquidation or something, and people are just not desirable anymore, and people just don't want it. So I think I slung that for like £2. I tried £20, which is what everyone had them listed for. Then I dropped it to 15, then I dropped it to 10, and it just kept dropping. Nobody was interested in it. I think I've had this ever since I started, so I've had it for like a good year and a half. Yeah, £2. But at least I'm seeing it gone. That's the main thing. You know, this is the whole journey, isn't it? Like, you buy these mistakes, you think, oh yes, I know that brand, that'll sell really well. Not necessarily. Just because you know of it and just because you know it's expensive does not mean it's got the resale value. And that's what I found when I picked up stuff like that back in the day. I do just take hunches on certain things. Like when I'm at the pound sales, I will just grab stuff that I think, oh, that feels nice, that label looks nice, let's take a punt at that. And I've had some great success with doing that. But anything more than a £5, I'll Google, because it's worth my time, especially now that there's eBay fees involved. Another thing that I thought would sell like hotcakes, I had this listed on Vinted for a £5, would not sell. Had it listed on my personal for a £5, would not sell. Mad thing is, I listed it on auction for $1.99, and there was a bidding war between two people, and it sold for £5.50. And it's just a Peterworth jacket, pullover, really soft. It's like that teddy bear sort of material. Lovely, isn't it? Yeah, £5.50 because of a bidding war. Absolutely mind blown. They could have got that a month ago for 30p less, and postage was less as well. Hey, I picked up this Jaeger top, this Jaeger blouse. It's a men's blouse, men's shirt. I need to iron it before I sell it, before I send it even. And yeah, this is another thing that just was not shifting. Jaeger women's sells like hotcakes on my store. Jaeger men's, I just can't seem to shift, especially shirts. So yes, I might have paid £1, and yes, it sold for 8, happy days, but I'll not be picking that up again because it's taken the full summer to sell. Probably could have got a bit more as well. I should have got a bit more for it, but it's dead stock now. It means nothing. I've made my profit and then some in a big bundle. So £1 in 8, not usually the margins that I look for, but I'll take it. I also sold this. I don't know if you can see the pattern. It's like a paisley pattern. It's cashmere, 70% cashmere, 30% silk. I couldn't add up there. This I've had for absolutely ages. I picked it up in a £1 kilogram sale, so yeah, it was about 50p. Sold it for £14.99, accepted an offer. There was so much kerfuffle with it, so I was like, just get it gone. There's no marks on it or anything, and it's lovely. and the woman's taking it for her holidays. She must be like wanting it as a head wrap or something, but it's lovely. 14.99. Really, really happy. That's the kind of markup I want. 50 pence into 50. Absolutely. Right. This is another piece of dead stock that I've had, but I'm actually impressed with how much it sold for. So this is a jacket that I've had nearly a year now. I bought it for £7, which again is more than I normally spend personally, unless it's like Barber, Ralph Lauren. I won't pay more than a £5, especially if it's a brand I've never ever heard of, like this one. This is Nicanto. It's like a sailory jacket. Really, really nice. Totally not the weather for it. Totally out of season. So really don't know why it's sold. They are worth about £40. So I had it listed $39.99, dropped it to $35.99. No takers. As soon as I whacked it on me Vinted, I had it on Vinted there as well and it didn't sell. As soon as I whacked it on my business account, literally sold like that within 24 hours, $29.99, no coupon. Happy days. And this I've had a little while. Again, totally not the weather for it. Why are people buying stuff that's out of season? Like, I can understand that, and I can understand Percy Pig. You can tell I've not had much sleep today. Percy Pig. But this is like so thin. It's like see-through. You can see my hand through it. But it's a good price and it's a good brand, so that's probably why people snapped it up. So this is a mint velvet, when I can get the label to show you. Mint velvet, medium, long blouse. I bought it in a kilogram sale, I think, so it would have ordered less than £1. Sold it for £12. She did use the coupon because I had it listed for $14.99, and then she sent me a cheeky offer of a little bit more than the 10% off. I was like, it's dead stock, I've had it ages, yes, just take it. And that's the thing. Yes, you might think, God, Rebecca, you've sold your stuff really cheap. A lot of this stuff owes me next to nothing. So yes, this owed me 20 pence, and I sold it for like £9.99, £8 with the coupon. But like, at the end of the day, do you really want to be hanging on to stock for ages? I personally don't. I want to get stuff gone, to move in for better stuff. You know, there's times when you make a mistake and you think, God, I shouldn't have picked that up. And yes, you might have paid top whack for it. You might have paid, you know, your 10 or your 15, whatever your personal limit is, and it might not be worth that much. But just take the hit, take the loss, move on to something bigger and better. Do a bit of research before you buy the next thing that's that much. And that's what my philosophy's been, and that's how I've learned and got by. And that's how my business has grown. So there's no point hanging on to mistakes, because we all make them. There's no point hanging on to dead stock, because it's always going to be dead stock. If you won't, don't get us wrong though, there's certain things that I will not budge on price for. Some of my higher end items. I've just sold a jacket as well, so I'll have to go and pick that. But there's certain items that I just won't budge on price, like my Barber jackets and stuff like that, because yes, the market might be fleeced with them, but I have them already a £5 cheaper than everyone else anyway, so I'm not going to budge much lower than that. And I think you've got to also know the worth of stuff as well. I know that sounds so obvious because you're a reseller, but it's true. This stuff in total probably cost us less than a tenner, and I've sold it for £125. So it just goes to show that it really does matter. So yeah, let us know how your journey's going. Let us know what you're up to. Obviously it's nearly Christmas now, the dreaded C. It's my son's birthday next week, so we're doing a little bit of a celebration then. I can't believe he's 6. Where has the time gone? It's crazy. So yes, that's what I'll be doing. No more boot sales for that week. So yeah, sad times. But to be fair, I've got loads of back stock and all of my old stuff starting to sell. So I'm just making sure it's all transferred over from my personal to my business, and then it's just selling. So that's keeping me going over the winter. I know that's not ideal for everyone, because most of you will already have had the business account anyway, but I was frightened to set it up. I didn't know what was involved. I wish somebody told me earlier, because I definitely would have done it. For all your gripe about fees and stuff like that, it is definitely worth it. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video. Sorry it's been a bit of a rant about vintage, but hey ho, it is what it is, and I'll catch you in the next one. Thanks for watching.